Hello everybody, I'm Matt Haynes and we are here at Chapman's Coffee House. I'm here with my guest, Sheriff Jeff Paden, Guernsey County Sheriff's Department, and this episode is sponsored by Chapman's Coffee House and Wally's Pizza. Hello everybody, I'm Matt Haynes and we are here at Chapman's Coffee House. So Sheriff Paden, how long have you been Sheriff at Guernsey County?
I was interim sheriff for about 1 year. I'm in my first term, so about 4 years.
Okay, so we have, how's the elections work?
The elections work, I get elected the same time as the president every 4 years. So 2020 is a big year for us at the sheriff's office. Same scenario as the president, the primaries, and then also you get elected as sheriff. Hopefully you get elected as sheriff, especially if you don't have any competition, which that's what I'm hoping for, Matt. No competition.
No doubt.
Yeah.
How about as your responsibilities as a sheriff, what do those entail?
Well, the Ohio Revised Code is what we go off of with everything, charges, and they're like our encyclopedia or dictionary or rules book. The two main responsibilities of the sheriff is to have a jail and also to serve papers for the court. So of course there's a bunch of other things that we do. You know, we have a road division, SRTs, it just goes on and on. But by the ORC is I have to have a jail and I have to serve papers for the court. Okay,
so how many deputies do you have at the department?
Well, I have a staff of 60, but that don't let that fool you. I run a jail, I run a dispatch center, I have civil clerks, secretaries, detectives. So on the road, we have about 20, and I have 3 school resource officers and also a couple other things, but on the road we have about 23 guys.
Okay, so as the department, what challenges do you face? What are some of the biggest challenges you face there at the department?
Well, right now, of course, the drug situation in Guernsey County, and if you've seen any statistics or something in the papers, YouTube, whatever, it's going to show our county is maybe not a great place to live. I'm going to disagree with that, and I'm going to tell you why. Because first of all, we don't sit on our hands; we arrest people. And when you arrest people and when you show people you're not going to have drugs in your community, it makes the numbers go up that you're probably not a very good community. I look at it as a reverse. If we're doing that, we're getting the drug dealers out of our community to make this a better place to live. So, you know, numbers can be numbers, but in the actuality, we are doing stuff. You know, we are Cambridge Police Department, State Patrol, Biswell, all law enforcement is to get those drug dealers out of our county, which is going to make the numbers go up, statistics go up, that we make a lot of arrests, but that's a good thing for Guernsey County.
Right, because I mean, we see the lack of respect for law enforcement, sheriff, police, all across the country.
Right.
So I mean, when you say you don't sit on your hands, that's good, because I mean, you could just see and watch any news channel and you see the disrespect.
Yeah.
To the point where some of these officers, they don't even want to go out and deal with a problem because they know that they're not being backed.
Right.
So, I mean...
And do their job. I mean, they're afraid to do their job.
Right.
Now, I can say this in Guernsey County, that our citizens here still, for the most part, respect us. My brother works in a big city, and he still loves that when he comes down here, and if he would ride with me or ride with somebody else, that you go down the street and wave at somebody, they're waving back. Mm-hmm. You don't get that in a big city a lot of times. So I like my small 42,000 population county for many reasons. I don't want to go to the big city, but you know, you're right. The respect, I think, is still here, but you're afraid to do your job sometime in bigger cities or whatnot because you're always having a camera on you.
Right.
And we have split-second decisions to make, and then people can critique it for hours.
Yeah, I see that. You know, I see that on the news. Like, they'll approach officers, but they have they'll have their phone up. They want to see the response.
Yeah.
They can't wait to make the officer look like he's the bad guy, or he's he's racist or whatever that is.
Exactly. So we have cameras of our own that we have on. I have all my deputies equipped with it, and plus my jailers have cameras also. And then we have cameras in the cruisers, and all of our interviews at the sheriff's office are recorded. The way I look at that is if we don't mind recording, we want to record because it keeps us in check.
Sure.
If we're not going to do anything wrong, who cares if you're being recorded?
Right.
And my guys and my staff are great. They're great people. And the first thing is they're great people. I hire great people. We can train them to do the job.
Right. So what happens if somebody comes up to, say, a deputy, and they have their phone out, but they're not obeying the commands of the officer? Do they just? I mean, what happens? Do they get tasered or? I mean,
no. Each situation's unique, obviously, and we would take each situation as it comes. But if you're doing something wrong, and we see you doing something wrong, and we ask you your name, you have to give us your name and your ID. And if you're recording, and that means you have to stop recording to put your phone down, that's what we're going to ask you to do.
Right. That's good. So here recently, because the police station and the sheriff department, those were merged together just recently.
Back in '94, a new facility was built where the police and the sheriff lived.
Right.
We pretty much live at the office.
Right.
So we stayed in the same building.
Okay. So when was it that they moved? Just here recently?
Yeah, it's been I guess it's been over a year at least now. It wasn't to anybody's fault. It was they were running out of space. We were running out of space.
Yeah.
We're growing. They are growing. They had a great opportunity to buy the downtown business.
Yeah.
Which I think in essence they're going to have all the administrative offices in that building eventually. So it was just a space issue.
Nice. I tell you what, I like when I come through town, whether it's at night or coming home from one of my businesses, I like the presence of the police station right there on Main Street. I feel like there's a sense of safety for the community, so I like that aspect. And then with you guys having the room down there that you need for the jail, and that was another question I had with the jail is how's that going? I mean,
it's an issue for every sheriff in the state of Ohio. I'm a part of the BSSA, which is called the Buckeye State Sheriff's Association. And if you didn't know, there's 88 counties in Ohio, and then so I speak to 87 other sheriffs at conferences and whatnot, and it's known throughout Ohio that all sheriff's offices are overpopulated in their jails, which is due to the drug epidemic, heroin and whatnot. So our jail here in Guernsey County is a 66-bed jail. I have room for 12 women, 66 total. The other day we had 130 in our jail. And because of we are now a mental health facility. We are a dry out facility. We're a jail. With all these mental health challenges and this drug epidemic, it's very challenging, and my staff does a heck of a good job with the resources that we have. So
what do they bring in, cots? Like say if they only have 66 beds, just bring in cots? Or
yeah, we bring in what's called boats. They're plastic totes, and we put a mattress on top of it. I've actually had to convert my indoor gymnasium, indoor rec, to a women's dorm. The population of women has soared extremely bad. From we would house maybe 8 to 10. Now we're up in the 40s.
Okay. Well, how do you deal with all the overdoses and everything going on, and the drug problem obviously is such a problem. How do you deal when you come to a scene and with a situation and what is it that you shoot?
Narcan?
Yeah. How do you know when to do that, when not to do that, and save that person?
Right.
That's expensive. Some of what you guys have to do that's a lot of cost in that.
Well, it just makes us become we're kind of like EMTs now. But here's how I do the Narcan. Our officers, our deputies carry Narcan on their belts for many reasons. And a lot of people say, well, why do you want to save that druggie? Well, that druggie, first of all, I'm not God. I'm not going to decide which life I save or which life I don't save. A lot of those people who are on drugs are someone's loved one.
Right.
Somebody loves that person. And we're going to do our best to save that person with what we have on our gun belts. If it's offered to us, we're going to try to do it. The second thing is, if our deputies get exposed to it, we have it on our gun belts and we can use it on our deputies. And then thirdly, if our canines get exposed to it, we can use it on the canine. So it's a safety issue, for a safety factor for us and for the person who might be a drug overdose right in front of us, and we can save their life.
How do you know if it's like a drug overdose or if it's like another, like something else that's medical? I mean, is there like a needle there? Or?
Well, 9 times out of 10, you got to look at your area, your surrounding, and look at the factors involved. There could be needles, there could be drug paraphernalia, there could be a known drug house you go to, or it could be just that person that's laying alongside the street that is in a suit and tie and is laying there. So the Narcan's not going to hurt you. It's a nasal. You spray it in the nostril. It's not going to hurt you if you're not overdosing on opioids.
Okay.
But it doesn't. Drugs do not discriminate. It could be the millionaire. Obviously, we see this all the time, or the guy who's homeless.
Right. Yeah, and then you see, and I hear, and some of the things you see and hear about, like somebody's dropped, they'll have an OD situation and they drop them off, at the hospital or leave the scene, or they're trying to maybe get themselves out of a situation.
Happens all the time.
Yeah. So I mean, how do you? I guess they could be charged.
Sure.
With something. I guess.
Well, we are not going to. If somebody is overdosing at a home, and somebody calls us to that overdose, we're gonna save that person. Don't worry about anything else. I mean, by the time we get there anyway, let's be honest, by the time we get there, the drugs are going to be gone. But we got to get there and save that person.
Yes.
So, I mean, don't put a life between, me judging you because you're doing drugs. We need to save that person.
Right. Okay. Well, that's just some of the questions that I was wondering about. So moving forward, you guys have just put in a new 911 dispatch.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Well, thanks to the Guernsey County residents, it passed 3-1. The levy did. It's working out tremendously. I would really like you to maybe come down and we could take you through that sometime.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And I can give you some tips, and maybe whoever's watching would learn a little bit of something off the 911 system.
Right.
I don't want to tell you too much if you're going to come down, but I tell you, the system is extraordinary. It's $1 million facility in essence, and thanks to the taxpayer, we are quicker response, more information, getting the fire departments there to them quicker. So everything is working flawlessly, and I got, again, my staff, my dispatchers, the guys who put this together. And I could name names, but I don't want to forget anybody. So I'm not going to name anybody's name, but my staff is second to none.
Good. Well, how old were you when you started? Did you go, I forget.
We went to school together.
I know, but I forget where. Did you go right into the sheriff department?
No. I can tell you a little bit about it. I was always one of those kids who didn't like to bully and would try to stick up for other kids. And that was probably because of my mother. She was something like that also. So I went to vocational school. It was the first year for the law enforcement at the Guernsey Noble Vocational School. I went there my junior year, ended up coming back to high school my senior year. And then, I got to throw this out. We went state in '88 in basketball. So I got to throw that out. So then I went on to get my associate's degree. Went on to get my jailer's academy, went on to get my police academy, and then I finished up with my bachelor's degree. I started with Cambridge Auxiliary in '90, got hired on with the sheriff's office in '94, and let me correct you if I would, Matt. It's a sheriff's office, not a sheriff's department.
Okay.
Reason being is, and this is something for knowledge, is that I'm an elected official.
Right.
So elected officials hold offices.
Okay.
Police department, they're not elected.
Okay.
So they're a police department,
Gotcha.
I'm a sheriff's office.
Nice.
So I went on to get my bachelor's degree, hired on in '94 at the sheriff's office, worked in the jail. That's where I was hired on at, got promoted to the road, ended up getting promoted to detective sergeant, then I made captain, and then where I'm at today.
Nice. And so Donnie, your brother, how long has he been with, is he with the police? Mm-hmm. Okay, so he's with the police in Columbus.
Yes.
And how long has he been with them?
Yeah, Donnie started out in Washington County. We actually went through the academy at the same time. He started out Washington County Sheriff's Office and then left there after 5 years, went to Columbus Police Department, and he's currently on the freeway patrol. He's doing really well. He teaches for the academy. He's a pretty well respected person right there.
Yes.
So I guess it's in the family. It's in the family blood. Now my youngest son's wanting to get into it, and it is what it is.
Yeah, and also shout out to your son Derek.
Yes.
And then
Justin. Yep.
and also you mentioned your mom Sharon, and she passed away, like it's been several years ago now.
Actually, the 31st of this month is when she passed away, and she passed away in 2010.
And obviously, she has not only been a great support for New Concord.
Yes, she working
at the college.
Yes.
She is now Muskam University. But how, with her input in your life and things, what helps motivate you to keep doing what you're doing at the Sheriff Department?
Office.
Yeah, office. Yes, Sheriff's office.
You'll get used to it. I'll correct you.
Okay.
Well, I guess you got to get into the field for a couple reasons. It's not to arrest people. You got to get into the field because you want to help people, and if that's your passion to help people, then this is the field to get into, and that's something that's hard to take out of your system.
Right.
If all through the years and you've watched your mom do it, and your dad, and help people, then it's in you. It's in your blood. It's in your genes. So that's why one of the questions I ask, I said, why do you want to get in law enforcement? And I always tell the younger guys, I said, you make the badge don't make you.
There you go. That's good. That's good. Well, I think that's all the questions I had. Do you want to share anything else before we make it a wrap?
No, but I want to interview you sometime on the history of Wally's Pizza.
Okay, well.
So you need to bring me back to do that. How about that?
We may have to go to the Sheriff Department, and then you can interview me.
Yes, that sounds good.
All right. So that's a wrap for our Chapman's Coffee break, and sponsored by Wally's Pizza, Chapman's Coffee, and Haynes Production. Have a great day. Hello everybody, I'm Matt Haynes and we are here at Chapman's Coffee House.